some of the major plants here that did textile manufacturing. The town kind of grew in a haphazard way, and when a new development wanted to go up, somebody came to the town and they said, "Go ahead, we'll run the water lines, we'll put in a new pump station." They didn't think about consolidating the infrastructure that was there and planning ahead for the future. So as a result, all of Buncombe County has 8 sewer lift stations. We have 20. and those pumps, each of those pumps, it's a $6,000 bill to rehab one of those pumps is not out of the question. And by law, they're required to have 2 pumps at each station. They're required to have a backup. So we've had to replace several of those. So that's some more of that work that's going on behind the scenes. Some of those have come up and bit us because they just were on the verge of failure, and we had to go ahead and replace them. So a lot of good work's going on behind the scenes to ensure that we have a future where the town can provide safe and clean water and sewer service. And also we're doing it in a way where we are taking advantage of some zero interest loans from the state, some grant money. I know, speaking specifically about that $2.1 million sewer project on Sunset, that is half zero interest loan and the other half is grant money. And that was the most that the state could offer. So we are really excited to get that work done at such a bargain to the town. Of course, $2 million never sounds like a bargain to me, but that's what it is. We also have a major project coming up to pave every street in town. We had to push that back this year due to COVID. DOT was supposed to pave Main Street, and that had to be pushed back as well. That's just the way that they decided to schedule things in this year of COVID. We were supposed to be paving back in, I think March or April was the schedule for Main Street. And then we were going to work out something to have them do the rest of the streets in town shortly after that. So we're still waiting on that. We've got the financial documents ready, and we've got everything ready to go to the state for approval on that next year. So we're looking forward to that. That will actually pave every street in town that is a town maintained street. So the way to know whether or not your street's maintained by the town is, does it have lines on it? Because the town of Pilot Mountain does not paint roads, at least until we take over Main Street. Won't be painting any roads. So a lot of important work going on there as well. So we've got a lot of those infrastructure projects sort of shovel ready, and we've taken advantage of this time to do that. A few weeks ago, I took a tour of some of our local manufacturing and got to hear from them. Extreme Marketing was one I took a tour of, and they are offering a lot of new services. They've taken advantage of this time to sort of expand their offerings. And I'm really proud to see what they've done right here in the heart of downtown Pilot Mountain. I also got a chance to look around at Gitman Brothers and see them making the masks and the ties and everything by hand, and that was really neat to see. Last year, we had a new company move to town called SPX. And if you don't know what SPX does, they are their goal is to have you interact with some piece of their equipment every day. So they manufacture cooling equipment for industrial use. They manufacture a lot of cooling and air flow equipment for businesses. So they are a really major player in that space. They're a Fortune 1000 company, so we were really excited to put them in the old Elastrix building last year. And I got a chance to catch up with them and take a tour of their facility. We were hoping that at the beginning, sort of at the beginning of the pandemic or just before it, was when they moved into that building. And I know at that time they were looking at possibly running 3 full-time shifts. So they would have a second and a third shift, and employing around 70 or 80 full-time employees. They've had to scale back a little bit on those plans, but the great thing that I heard from them was that they are continuing to run 1 full shift, and they're just stockpiling equipment right now until they're able to do their installs. So some of the installs that they do is equipment for like a cooling tower at a nuclear power plant. So they're not able to do those installs right now due to coronavirus. And when they are able to do that, they have warehoused everything at this facility so that they can move forward. And they have reassured me that they are here to stay. They like the location. It's convenient for them as far as highway access to move materials. And so that's really an advantage of Pilot Mountain, Mount Airy, and a lot of communities in this area that we have such great access to major interstates. But once they are able to do those installs, they still plan, and they've already got the equipment to run another line at that facility and start ramping back up to 3 shifts and possibly up to 80 full-time workers. So we're really excited to have them in our community. I know that they pay a high minimum wage. I was able to speak to their plant manager, and he says it's one of the best companies he's ever worked for because their minimum wage is $15 an hour. They provide a lot of benefits even to their first or lower level employees, and they really take care of their own. So we're really excited to have them in our community, and I know that they want to be involved more. So we're reaching out to them as we start to do more events and start to do more fundraisers and working more closely with them. I think that's about all I have so far this morning, Randy. There's a lot going on in the town of Pilot Mountain right now, and we're excited to sort of get things opened up again, and looking forward to seeing everybody downtown once more.
Dale has a question, Evan, that says, could you give us a few examples of what has been done to help small businesses, or what he has seen small businesses do in helping them be successful during the pandemic? Because I
Sure.
mean, you work in a small business every day, but tell us what your observation has been, how some of these small businesses have survived.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that question, Dale. Our business, PC Medic Computers, we've not really seen a downturn because folks have relied on more and more on technology to communicate during this time.
Oh yeah.
But I've seen some really nice creative things, and I think I mentioned this to Dale a while back, but I do want to definitely share it with everyone. One of the businesses downtown started doing it's Grace and Sparrow. It's a great little shop downtown. I got to give them credit for this idea. But Chastity at Grace and Sparrow, when this started and everyone was having to do curbside service only, she had these online events where she would have sort of like almost like a QVC show online. And so she would tag these items, and she would show, this is such and such, and show you the details of the item, give you the price and everything. And then you would comment on the Facebook Live video if you wanted to buy it. And then she would get in touch with you, get your PayPal information, your credit card information, whatever. And all you had to do then was run it out to your, then pull up and she'd run it out to the car for you. And I thought, when I saw that, I thought, that's probably a really neat way to survive this pandemic. I hope that she makes enough to make it through this. And I think I was catching up with her one day, or I can't remember where I had seen it, and she had made thousands of dollars doing those events. And I was just so blown away that she had gotten the kind of response to those that she had. Not because I think her store's fantastic, and I think Chastity's fantastic, but just the engagement people had to go online and look for a local business to support, and then stay in on the call and shop around. I thought that was so neat. So that's one of the interesting ways I've seen more outside the box. I know Dale and his team with the Small Business Center, we met a little while back, and I understand he has some financing to help folks with websites. If you have an existing website and you need to add e-commerce functionality to it, Dale can help you out with that. He's working with someone that can help design that for you and help expand your online presence. which is so important right now. So I think those are the ways that I've seen people sort of get outside their comfort zone and do some different things to promote their business and to make sales during this time.
The big thing that Pilot Mountain has that is really a part of the whole community is this big mountain and this wonderful state park. And I've been told, or Jessica shared some data with me, that it's one of the top parks in the state. And of course, this time of year, if any of you have tried to get up on the mountain here recently, you know it's backed up. But
yeah,
maybe you and Jessica could talk about the impact of that park and how much it means to the town, but really how much it means to the whole region, because I think it's one of the biggest tourist assets we have right up there next to Mayberry.
Yeah, so I'd mentioned before the call, and I want to hear what Jessica has to say as well, because I know she's visited the new visitor center and been by the park recently. But downtown Pilot Mountain has done really well because of the inflow of people to the mountain during this time. I know I was out last weekend downtown, and nearly every business told me that they had been busy, and the reason was because folks had gone to the mountain was full, and the folks at the state park told them, go visit the town first and then come back. And that has worked out really well for the town of Pilot Mountain lately. That's always been a goal of ours, is to differentiate in some ways the town from the mountain, so that folks, when they visit, realize that there's also a town just up the road that they can come by and see while they're visiting from Raleigh or other parts of the state. And that has worked out really well for us. So downtown has really picked up because of the state park and our cooperation with them, and they've been kind enough to work with us to help promote the town.
Jessica, any thoughts on from where obviously Jessica and her team promote the whole county package of tourism every day, but what's, Jessica, your thoughts on Pilot?
Well, I mean, obviously it's the biggest attraction we have here in the county, and probably one of the most recognizable places here in the state. So if you look at their numbers for June of 19 to June of 2020, they were up 64% for visitation to the state park. And I did go out there just last week. We got some updated photography out there, thanks to the staff out there for allowing us to get some drone footage and some photography. So we're excited about that. But they're going through a lot of brochures out there, a lot of information, and that visitor center was very busy that day. That was on a Monday, and the top of the mountain was pretty much full at most times that I was there, with license plates from very much North Carolina, but also Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, places very far away. So they're doing a great job out there, and we just look forward to continuing to partner with them in the town to promote everybody around that mountain.
Yeah, you never know what this year is going to bring. And I remember thinking a few months ago, we had just had these really nice brochures printed up about the town. Jenny Kendi, our Main Street coordinator, worked with Extreme Marketing and the TDA to produce these brochures. And I know we had, I think, 10,000 of them ordered. And I thought, man, we're going to have to update these next year, and they're just going to go to waste because of coronavirus. And now they're just flying off the shelves at the state park. So they're really doing what they're supposed to be doing now.
So that is the visitor center open now, the new visitor center?
It is opened.